Hello and welcome back to the Gluten-Free Guru channel. My name is Tanya, and today, instead of cooking with you, I wanted to rank gluten-free breads from worst to best. So, obviously, homemade would make top spot every time, and that would be super disappointing if you make it to the end of this video and that happened. So I will just be ranking store-bought breads. And the reason I wanted to make this video is because gluten allergies are becoming more and more prevalent, and I wanted to really ease your transition into finding those really good loaves out there if you're new to it. Also, gluten-free breads are quite expensive, and I don't want you to go through that trial and error phase where you spend $7 on each loaf just to try one that you really don't like, and you end up having to dry them out and turning them into breadcrumbs, which is sometimes what I had to do. So with that, let us begin. Number 5. For number 5, I decided to combine two brands, and those are Live G-Free and Udi's. And the reason I combine them is because they both have very similar textures, and they both come frozen in grocery stores. Their texture for me was similar to that of stale bread. It was very dry and crumbly, and it just broke apart whenever you put them on a sandwich or anything like that. And unfortunately, these brands or similar ones where you can buy them frozen are the ones that restaurants use, and that's because of the low demand. It's easy for them to just take 1 or 2 slices out of the freezer and put them on your burger or sandwich. But I want to let you know that these are probably the worst gluten-free brands out there, and that it's only uphill from here. Number 4, Canyon Bakehouse. This brand would probably be at the top of the list for most people, but it's number 4 for me because of their added ingredient of pear concentrate, and I actually find them a bit too sweet. I was never a fan of the Wonder Bread brands, and I find these very similar to it. They do have a wide variety of breads. They have white, 7-grain, Hawaiian sweet. They even have bagels and hamburger buns. So if you were a fan of that very popular store-bought brands like Wonder Bread, for example, I definitely recommend that you try this one. It just personally wasn't for me. Number 3, Be Free. Not to be confused with Live G-Free. Instead, Be Free has both a great taste and texture. They really pride themselves, though, on pitas, wraps, and panini breads, which is why I put them at number 3, just because they have a limited variety. However, they do cook it in a stone oven, so it makes for a nice crispier crust on their products. And the reason their texture is so good is because with wraps and paninis, sometimes you worry about them cracking and breaking apart when you try to fold them, but these ones won't do that, and they taste really good. Their pitas in particular, you can really not taste the difference between glutinous pitas versus these pitas. So I highly recommend them for your homemade wraps, your lunches, whatever you decide to use them with. Number 2, grocery store brands. So grocery store brands like Sam's Choice, Kroger, or President's Choice are actually really good. And because they're cheaper, you get a lot of bang for your buck. They tend to be very soft, so not crumbly at all, and they have a bit of chewiness to them that a lot of glutinous breads have that you don't see in most gluten-free breads. So while they usually hone back on their variety, they just have white and whole wheat bread, I really would recommend these if you're looking for something on the cheaper side or something to kind of replace that, again, Wonder Bread, for example, style bread that you're looking for. Number 1, Shar's. Shar's is definitely at the top of my list for both taste and texture, though they may be a little dense for some people. I personally really like that. They also have such a wide variety of breads out there. They have hamburger buns, ciabatta buns, sandwich rolls, croissants, white whole wheat, and my personal favorite is their deli-style sourdough bread. It is the closest thing to rye bread that I've had since having a gluten allergy, and it was always my personal favorite to have for breakfast or for sandwiches. I also want to mention that in their products, they don't use any dairy or eggs. So if you have additional allergies, this is great for that as well. Thank you for watching this week's episode of the Gluten-Free Guru and my first ranking video on gluten-free breads. If you liked it, please hit the like button. And if you want to see more of my future content, please hit subscribe. Also, I wanted to say that if there are breads that you absolutely love that you didn't see in this video, please put them in the comments section below so I can give them a try. In the future, I'd like to make an updated list for you, so let me know. Thank you. More popular, and I don't want you to go, okay. I want you guys to base your gluten-free experience. Are you kidding me?